cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap News Network.
I was with Rich Trapper.
I flex with you. What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. Back in this thing, back in this thing. It's like cracking this thing here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledge-ito you're not finna get in nobody's college-ito. Make sure you hit that notification bell at the top. Hit all. Stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest. Hit that like, hit that hype, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that share button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Make sure you tap in. Leave a comment because we're going back to the chili giveaway. So when we get to 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we pick the best comment between now and 31,000 subscribers. We're going to give you some chili, big dog. So it's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. Once we get 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we let y'all know an exact date and exact time that we will be doing a live to give away that money. You got Cash App, you got Apple Pay, you got Zelle, you got Venmo. Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure you get that chili. Make sure you hit that like button, that comment, that good subscribe button. TNN Trap News Network. We taking it back to the basics, man. All right, let's jump right into this content. My man Byron Blake giving us some news we can use, some knowledge we're not going to get in nobody's college. Let's tap into this content, man. He's diving deep into the situation with Rat Run Runner, where he's snitching on Big U. Let's see where Snitching and Eddie Boy got to go into it. Let's get into it. Let's go.
He's in a full-blown panic right now. He's trying so hard to divert the attention from himself. Listen, I know I've been MIA for a minute. Y'all thought it was over, but nah, I was just tending to a little business. But this dude Wack loves to contradict himself. So much so, he do it so much that I don't even think he got a problem with doing it. Like, this dude just really, he'll tell you a lie and he'll turn around and...
No, because Wack thinks that you guys are idiots, bro. And he thinks that he could just tell you guys whatever and you guys are going to forget and not really know what's going on. But I know that y'all smarter than that, bro. I know. That's why I believe in the people. That's why I believe in the people, man. We're not going to let Wack sit here and continue to make y'all look like that y'all don't have the common sense God gave a goldfish staring in the mirror. I know y'all smarter than that. Y'all don't believe Wack.
Tell you another lie, and then, you know, when you call him out on a lie, he'll try to make you the bad guy. Like, see, I lied on purpose because I knew you was just waiting on the opportunity to hate on me, and I was just trying to give you some bad information so I could see how you would act. And then he one of them type of dudes, you know. But in reality, bro, you just got caught lying. But man, today we gonna be taking a look at Wack.
No, for sure. In reality, you just got caught lying, for sure.
100 and his...
Hey, random. Has anybody in LA ever had Jollibee? You're Filipino. Of course you've had it. Well, she's Filipino and black. Okay, well, the Filipino and you have had Jollibee. Have y'all ever had Jollibee, and is it good? Is it good? I don't know but if it ain't good, though, I don't want it.
Opinions attempt to shift the narrative. We're going to be taking a listen anyway. They've been really, really trying to prevent people from hearing the truth about what's going on with Big U, as far as not only who is, you know, doing the legwork as far as the streets and trying to get them locked up and, you know, trying to build cases on them, but how the system is, you know, basically in plain sight. It's not even hidden, bro. You know, this is blatant disregard for due process that this man is dealing with, from the fabrication of things in the indictment to some of the overt acts having absolutely nothing to do with, you know, what he's charged with, down to them pushing back sentencing for witnesses just to prevent the jury from being able to hear about, you know, the crimes that these alleged witnesses have committed. So, you know, they control where y'all get y'all news from when it comes to this. That's really what this is about. It's part discrediting me. You know, they want to discredit me, but the reasoning behind that is because they want to control where you get your news from about Big U's situation. By doing that, they able to continuously taint and poison the jury pool. You know, especially on the West Coast. A lot of people on the West Coast listen to these different podcasts, whether it's, you know, on YouTube or actually just riding in their car and listening, letting it play through, you know, however. But, you know, a lot of people listen to this stuff, and if they can get these blogs and a lot of these media outlets to keep reposting the fake news as if it's true, then they got they narrative out there. And if you look at Big U's indictment, that's really what the government is about. Like, some of the stuff that's listed in his indictment as overt acts have nothing to do with what he's being charged with, but it seems like they want this information out so they can.
And it's crazy because some of the overt acts that he's being charged with have only came out on YouTube, like the story about Wack talking about what happened at the Novo has only come out on YouTube by way of Wack.
Paint certain narratives, you know, and so the public will look at this dude a certain way. With that being said, though, let's get into this Clubhouse clip so y'all can see what Wack and his minions are up to. I gotta break this down for y'all.
Big homies the smartest shit. They let the nigga ride with this. They can say it. Because this is what is going to sell his coffin. You just let him say that you the...
He's going to seal his coffin? I don't think he wants to sell his coffin. Words of heart.
Leader of the Crips. And you didn't tell him no different because any idiot will know that he's not. He couldn't have started the Crips, first of all, because of his age. Second of all, how the he be the leader of anything, again, because of his age? I took up for the nigga, so how the fuck be the leader of anything? But, again, let him go ahead and take that title, because, again, that's going to sell his car.
Who said they was the leader of the Crips?
That was...
I don't think she mean the Crips, the 60s, when Big U was talking
Yeah.
about the leader.
No, he meant that. And guess what? They can't take that from him because at that time, he definitely was on the streets at the time. He was being allowed to portray that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Wack. They just let him do it.
Yeah, he was being allowed to portray that.
Now, I don't know who this is that Wack is talking to, but I've never heard Big U say he was the leader of the Crips. I've never heard
him say he was leader of the Crips or leader of the 60s at all.
Say, you know, on no public platform or nowhere that he was the leader of the Rolling 60s. I never heard him say that. You know, I've heard him say he got a hell of a reputation, but I've never heard him say he was the leader of anything. With that being said, don't Wack sound just like a cop? Well, hold on, they can't take that from him because he was on the streets. This is my thing with Wack. If you know this,
man, that nigga sounds like the copyest cop. Man.
Same logic that he tried to use with Big U. He say, well, Big U knew his phone was hot and he was calling all his homies on the phone. And if you know that the feds are listening to you on YouTube and Clubhouse and all of this stuff, and they using this and putting it in people's cases, why would you be on here saying, hey, I know that he was in the streets? And, you know, you basically saying, I got knowledge of crimes that he committed. He was around. I know this. And he was being allowed to.
Yeah, that's literally giving a witness statement. You're saying that you knew something, that you saw something, that you were around for something. That's literally giving an open air witness statement by definition. Literal by definition. Can I see your phone real quick? Huh? You go chat GPT.
No,
oh, you took it off. He said you put it back on real quick.
Trade that.
iPad there.
Which is basically co-signing that Big U was saying he was the leader of the Crips, and I never heard him say that, not one time. So, you know, this is Wack doing more. This is the type of police stuff that he do. He'll argue you up and down. I ain't in no paperwork, but you are in lots of paperwork, and this is why. You know, you be trying to mince words and play on people's intelligence. You want people to be like, you want people to point to a document that says, I met with WACK100 and he told me. We don't got to do that, bro. We see how you providing them the information. It's clear as day. But let's keep going, though.
You know, like I said before, Wack and Big U, Wack and...
I have a question. Can you answer it? I have a question. Can you answer it? Wait, your chat GPT is not good. I have a question. Can you answer it?
Absolutely. Go for it. What's on your mind?
If someone is talking about all the details of a crime on a social media platform like YouTube, is that a way of snitching? They're not necessarily going into a police station giving up information, but they're talking about it on YouTube, knowing that the police are listening to the YouTube conversations, and certain statements have been used against people in court to put them in jail. Does that count as snitching?
It's definitely a gray area, but from a lot of people's perspective, talking publicly, especially in detail about something incriminating, can be seen as snitching on yourself. Because, yeah, if the authorities catch wind, they might use it. Now, snitching traditionally means cooperating directly with law enforcement against others. So if it's just public talk, it's more like self-incrimination. Either way,
no, he's talking about the crimes that other people have committed. There's been a phrase called open source snitching being used lately, meaning people don't want to go into the police station and snitch, so they'll say it on YouTube so law enforcement can use the information against the people that they don't like.
Got it. Yeah, that's often what people mean by dry snitching or open source snitching. Even though they're not in a formal interview room, spilling details on public platforms, knowing law enforcement could be listening, still ends up guiding investigations. So while it's not the old school testifying snitching, practically it can have the same effect.
So the person doing that is snitching.
At the end of the day, that's a street definition thing. Some would absolutely label it snitching if you're putting info out there that helps get someone caught up, even without directly talking to the cops. Others might say if you aren't going straight to the authorities, it's not traditional snitching. But realistically, if it leads to consequences for others, people might see it that way.
All right, well, that's that. Here, babe, take your phone. Let's keep going.
And Keita Rock and Wack and S-Mac and other people that I knew and ran with prior to even, I didn't meet him till so when you look at his circle of what was around him, he kept a bunch of flunkies around him. It wasn't the foundation around him. They was actually saying shit behind the scenes because I used to get the calls every morning. Yeah, I heard this nigga right here got something to say about my movement, what I'm doing, but he ain't said nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So, when you look up, you don't never really see the older facet.
This right here is the setup. I'm a firm believer that Wack practices the stuff that he's going to say, or he keeps some type of notes or something, but this is the setup. What Wack is doing right now is he's setting the stage to discredit Big U as a member. He got to destroy the foundation because, I told y'all, he wants to control the narrative of where you get your news from regarding him. So right now he has to set the stage for who's credible and who's not. So this is why he's saying, oh, you didn't see these people with Big U or that person with Big U, because he's laying the foundation to say, hey, these guys didn't really, deal with Big U. They ain't fuck with Big U, and that's contradictory to him saying Big U was allowed to portray himself as the leader,
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. If all these people didn't F with you and they didn't deal with you, how is he saying that he's a leader? Those two things don't make sense at all. So Wacky on one hand is saying that Big U's a nobody, and then on the other hand saying that he was a leader.
But I told y'all he liked to contradict himself. But yeah, he before I knew Big U, I know, he trying to name other people that he knew, basically saying these guys are more reputable than Big U. I heard of these guys before I ever heard of him. I know of them. I know of him because of them type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he say you ain't see none of the older guys with him, because now he trying to draw that line, separate. And this leaves people with the mindset that maybe there's some information that they missed. And now that lays another foundation for him to bring these people out on stage and do stuff like what you hear this young woman doing right now, talking about the big homie said they let him do that. You on here telling on the big homies right now just by saying that.
Facts.
If you on here saying the big homies said they let him, then you telling the feds, hey, it's actually somebody else who pulling the strings and they just letting Big U take the fall.
They're actually saying that there's somebody above Big U, so there's actually somebody who he could tell on, so there's actually a bigger fish that needs to be caught.
For why the hell would you be that means that's telling them, hey, damn, we need to go back and investigate some more. We got the wrong, maybe this ain't the end. You know? I don't get it, but I get it. Let's keep going though.
Right, you gotta remember, Big U ain't from California, you from Chicago. So you could establish that right now. In that neighborhood over there, nigga, ain't no first generation nigga finna let no nigga that come from somewhere else come over there talking about they lead or run nothing over. It ain't gonna happen.
See what I mean about the contradictions though? Just 2 or 3 minutes back, we just heard Wack say that Big U was being allowed to portray himself as the leader. And now he's saying, ain't no first generation nigga gonna come over there and let a nigga, you know, this boy said Big U ain't from California.
Yeah, that don't make no sense at all. So if you want to sit here and say that he's a leader, you just say he's a leader, you say he's not, he's saying it's not. But this whole thing right here is just a plot and a ploy for Wack to tear down Big U, all his credibility.
He from Chicago, which I get it. You know, you talking about birthplaces and all of that, but come on, man, where was that man raised at? Like this is how deep in the technicality bag Wack is going to discredit this man. And at the same time, he discrediting the person that he got on here speaking. Because he just said, ain't no first generation nigga gonna allow no nigga that came from somewhere else to come over there and say they run nothing. And
With the lighter.
The funny thing about that is she was basically just trying to say that Big U was first generation, which we know is, you know, nonsense, but that's what she was just trying to say. Big U, first generation Crip. OG, he started the Crips. Like, you see what I'm saying? So now she went from that to Wack saying he was allowed to portray that to now Wack saying ain't no nigga, that nigga from Chicago. And it's more of the discrediting. And like I said, that's just the foundation. Let's get to the good part.
Shit. The missions he was on, Eddie Boy was sending him on the missions. You know what I'm saying? They was all up under them niggas. So I think Big U might have came over there. I don't know what you think. Third generation?
He lived in the Hoovers before he lived in the 60s.
Yeah, he might have came over there.
His daddy sent him to his aunties on Arlington and Slauson, and that was history.
Yeah, he might have came over there like around third generation.
Yeah, he was 12. He was 12 years old.
It's about third generation over there. So, you know, you still got a lot of the niggas, wrong niggas still around. And, you know, the niggas still around, so they wouldn't have been going for that shit. But
the confusing part about all of this is it seemed like some of these guys are okay with Wack, you know, pushing this information. As we can see this young lady on here saying that, yeah, the big homie said. So it's almost like somebody is around.
Yeah, but she doesn't come around like that. So I'm not sure why she's saying what anybody says when she has no real physical presence in that community, but whatever.
Feeding them this information, and they okay with them putting this out there. But this is, the way Wack is saying, they still around. It's like he telling the feds, hey, y'all ain't done. Y'all left some people. Y'all got some more. You know, that's how I take it. And the main thing that I wanted y'all to get from this is Wack saying, oh yeah, the missions he was on, Eddie Boy was sending them on.
So Eddie Boy.
So that's what we getting to right there. When I say he's trying to discredit Big U and he want to control where y'all get y'all news from, it's because he want everybody to listen.
What'd you forget? Come here real quick. Close this window.
To Eddie Boy
Flex to flash.
giving these updates on Big U. We can see that from the fact that, look, y'all know Toxic Media basically work for WACK100. That's Wack channel. That's the same channel that clipped up the Lil U interview and basically tried to make it like his whole interview was about or even just a part of it was about Target and Nipsey, because that ain't what the interview was about at all. But that's Toxic Media's job, I guess, to spin the narratives for Wack. So they just posted some recently.
I think Toxic Media spins the narrative for Wack. I've never seen that before, but now I'm gonna pay attention to it.
He talking about Eddie Boy breaking down Big U case, and it's all designed to make y'all feel like if we want to know what's up with Big U, we got to listen to Eddie Boy. Now, if you don't know, Eddie Boy is the guy who popped out of the, clear blue sky, hanging with 600 one day and claiming that Big U told on him. And then now we got the paperwork that shows Eddie Boy was having meetings with the FBI while, he was incarcerated. And he was saying, what's the case number and all of that? What's the case number? This is Department of Corrections paperwork, bro. We not slow. Just because you was,
more paperwork that Wack and Eddie Boy are talking to the FBI. Goodness gracious.
Taking a little law class in a joint or whatever you was doing, that don't mean you smarter than there. We not slow, bro. We know what Department of Corrections investigation paperwork. We know it ain't gonna have no case number and all that on no CDC paperwork. Just like IDOC wouldn't have it. But the main thing is, he tried to deny that it was him. So, me being me doing a little homework I'm like, okay, let's get, all of the facts together. And while I was doing that homework, I stumbled across this. This, what you see on your screen right here, is Eddie Boy getting in trouble in prison. Apparently he was assaulted by a couple of inmates, and he defended himself, and that's one thing, whatever. If that's what you got to say to get out of SIG or whatever, hey, look, man, I defended myself. It is what it is. That's cool. This man went and filed a lawsuit. So now you trying to get these boys all the way, because listen, in order to file a lawsuit, you got to say, hey,
somebody did something to me.
This happened. You filing a lawsuit because they wrote up a ticket saying that you was involved in a assault or whatever. Like, this dude, he's suing them because he got rolled up for assault with a weapon, as did the other people. And this is common in prison. If you have a fight and a weapon involved, everybody, this is the same shit that we went through with 1090 Jake. The same thing. A weapon was involved. Jake tried to say, hey, I didn't have the weapon. He had the weapon. You know what I mean? Trying to get out of confinement. Claims, Jake didn't even claim self-defense. He said he balled up and didn't fight back. At least Eddie Boy fought back. I will give him that. He fought back. Hey, you did your thing. But my problem is with you going and filing a lawsuit, because now what you doing is you taking it out of the Department of Corrections. This is a Department of Corrections issue. And then you taking it into a federal courtroom. Saying, hey, I was assaulted at this facility and they wrote me up. And these are my injuries. And, like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Because now you setting the stage for the judge to possibly, what if they started an investigation into why you were assaulted? Now, these dudes could be facing criminal charges. That's not out of the question. So by you filing a lawsuit over this, that let me know that you was willing to go in the courtroom and raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but
the truth to help you, God, Eddie Boy.
The truth, and say that these inmates assaulted you and you didn't care what the outcome was for them. That's what I get from it, so I get you was trying to defend yourself from the Department of Corrections paperwork, but at the same time, this a fishy move to me, because in this document, it says that the officer saw another inmate swinging his right hand at inmate Wagner, and they saw the weapon in his hand. So
Eddie Boy, you didn't even have to snitch, nigga. You didn't have to tell on nobody. You just told for no reason.
You saying that they wrote you up bogus when in reality the report actually says they saw him with the weapon. They got to write both parties up because they don't know if he took the weapon from you. All we know is it was a fight. It was a weapon involved. We're going to write both of them up, let them figure it out. That's you know that's the process. So for them to write that they saw him with the weapon and then you get the ticket thrown out, you actually get this whole thing, you get found not guilty on this, and then still...
Wack's whole orbit of snitches. Flacco, 600, Eddie Boy, himself. It's just a bunch of flu flammers, skullduggerous, and larcenists and motherfuckers talking.
Go file a lawsuit? That got me thinking you was just wanting to put the police on them. Like I said, I get you trying to defend yourself from the Department of Corrections paperwork, but this right here don't make it no better. If them boys... If the feds would have been like, damn, they assaulted. What was the assault about? You know what I mean? Because that's not out of the question. You know, what was the assault about? They get to investigating that. They could have hit them boys with a RICO case from inside the joints. Anything could have happened, bro. So I'm saying that to say you showing the tendencies. And with that being said, I have no doubt in my mind that Department of Corrections paperwork is real. Now, what this is another thing that this points.
But see, here with a thing too. Eddie Boy, you talk all this about Big U, Big U, Big U. Every time your paperwork come up, that's Eddie Boy, it look terrible, bro. It look terrible. You getting beat up and getting your lunch taken. You get into situations and then you go into the police and you snitching on the dude who did whatever to you, bro. Like, your whole career as a street individual seems more than lackluster, bro. So you should probably just sit down somewhere. Like, I don't understand why Eddie Boy wants to continue at his 65-year-old age to even indulge in all this flu flammer skullduggerous situation.
Out is what 600 always say, that's Buster shit. You know what I'm saying? This points out, man, that you down with the Buster shit. Because a lawsuit, bro, and then you ain't even asked for a lot of money. You asked for $10,000, man. So you willing to go full throttle, put cases on niggas and everything for $10,000, and you expect us to believe that you out here on the streets and ain't working when them people got the ability to put hundreds of thousands in your head? Come on, man. But this is who Wack wants y'all to get y'all news from. So when y'all listening to this dude talk about Big U, and y'all listening to him say Big U doing this and doing that, and we don't, reputables don't do stuff like that. This is who y'all listening to. When y'all listening to Wack say, oh, this the dude that used to be sending Big U off, and I don't know.
But then that's snitching too, because why is Wack saying that Eddie Boy is Big U's big homie in any type of criminal organization? Why is Wack even alluding to Eddie Boy being, a G homie or a big homie or anything like that, when it's a criminal organization involved that's under investigation for a RICO?
Why he would even be letting him say that? It's like, y'all, you too old to be clout chasing like that, man. But
yeah, this is a wild one, boy. But we finna get up out of here, chat. Y'all stay and kick it. Red dots to the left. You know the rest. We
protest the air, Smith. We on the air, protest the air at our best. You know that, man. Off the air. You know what I'm saying? We out here, ground zero for the neighborhood hero. We got all four corners. TMC, the marathon definitely continue. Mr. Burger right here, live in the flesh. We out here, man. Trap News, you know that, nigga.
Apollo Texas. Dangerous. Can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboard. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bush and you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let him hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall. 81 point strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell it. Gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous.
outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboards. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Fake is hella fake, I know what enemies intentions. I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You think I'm outside when it's dangerous? Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You think I'm outside when it's dangerous? Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Safe like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.